You are listening to GCN. Visit GCNlive.com today.
Broadcasting and streaming live all across America. This is Home Talk USA with Michael King, where we will discuss topics pertaining to your home with industry-leading experts. Michael King is a licensed general contractor with more than 30 years of experience in home improvements and the author of Contracting with the King. Join us this hour for our segment Invent America with your co-host, the inventor lady, Rita Crompton. Discover what's next in the home improvement industry and explore new products and innovations. Or if you have that next great big idea, learn what it takes to bring your invention to the world as Michael King and Rita Crompton talk to America's inventors and innovators. Remember, the America of tomorrow is being invented today. We invite you to visit us at HomeTalkUSA.com. One of the best resources for home improvement information around today. Your best life begins with your best home, and there's no place like Home Talk. That's HomeTalkUSA.com. And now, we proudly present Invent America from the #1 home improvement radio program in the country, Home Talk USA, with your host, the Cajun contractor, Michael King, and his co-host, the inventor lady, Rita Crompton.
Yay! Welcome, America. That's right. It's always life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Me and Rita is back behind Master Control. We just got back off of that big bird from Las Vegas, Nevada, covering the National Hardware Show, the International Building Show that was at the Las Vegas Convention Center this past weekend. It's great to be back. I'd like to welcome all of you to the Invent America segment of our show. Now I'm going to bring in my co-host and my sidekick, the inventor lady herself, Miss Rita Crompton. Hey, Rita, how you doing?
I am fine. It is so nice to be back, and so much happened last week. I can't wait to share it with everybody.
Yeah, they had over 3,200 exhibitors between all three shows, and they combined all the shows together, and it made it really feasible for all of us, and I tell you, I could barely keep my voice up. There was a lot of talking, a lot of walking, and but hey, we got through it. And you had a great time. You were displaying the at the Inventor Show, the Inventor Lady booth. That's where I was broadcasting. And next week we're going to have some inserts of some of them interviews next week, and I'm proud to let our audience know that. But what was your take on the show, Rita?
Well, just your play on words there where you said it was the Inventor Lady show, I'm not sure that they will appreciate that, but I do. So for us, it was a great show. We were in a wonderful location this year, 600 square foot island, right in the middle of the entrance area. So people were going down both sides of our booth, and it was just, everybody was like, oh my God, you must have paid for this placement. Yes, I did. But it was a really good placement, and you don't always get to be where you want, but it's nice that we've kind of worked our way up in the pecking order to be in the front. We've already signed our contract for next year. I've had people already signing up for next year. We had one gentleman who's going to be on, our first guest, won the Retailer's Choice Award, which is always exciting. And then we had several others that were invited to be up on stage to present their products to the crowd that was out there. A lot of media coming over and taking pictures and doing, their thing, but with our inventors. And so it always makes us feel good, But, the coverage is nice, but it's those buyers that show up that say, when can I order this? It's the sponsors and the suppliers that show up and say, we need to talk about getting this into our stores. And one of the interesting things is, we had a product there that is like, I understand the product, and in fact, I had to present his product on stage, but I don't know if this is the right show for the product. Would you believe that this guy had more hits on his thing? All right, it's a glove mold, but none of us realize that all those plastic gloves we have been using over the last 3 years, they're full of holes.
Yeah, that's right.
And he's been doing research for 20 years with his dad, and they now have a mold and a process that will not put any holes It costs less to make. They will make more per minute, and there will be no holes in it.
Wow.
And so he had manufacturers. The timing was perfect for him. He went with us last year, but this year, and that's one of the things we're going to talk about, is why you go multiple years in a row, is because now after this huge rush and now things are calming down, all those glove factories are retooling and they're ordering new molds.
That's right. Now
that's exactly what he is.
Now you had about 25 Inventor exhibitors in your booth, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So just about everybody who goes with us, they're looking for licensing. The majority of the ones that go, and get their own space down in the Inventor Spotlight sections, they're more in startup mode, which is fine. Most inventors, when they really do the numbers, it's like, okay, we really don't want to go there because they're looking at $250,000 to $500,000 just to get things teed up and ready to be, placed in a store. And most inventors really, they don't want a second mortgage of the house to do that. They would much rather say, you know what, let's do some licensing and let somebody else do the heavy lifting and the product liability and all of that kind of stuff. So we've got some good lessons learned out of the show by the different inventors, and they're going to be sharing that with the audience, with our audience, so that they can be better prepared when they say, okay, I've got an idea. What do I do now?
Well, Rita, you made some real good points there. And, but like I always say, if you're not going to be a one-trick pony, you might really consider that licensing deal,
Exactly. And I think that's what we're all about, is sharing with our listeners the lessons learned, so that instead of it just being the magic of meeting that one inventor, now we are sharing with the entire audience all of the lessons that we've learned.
Well, I could tell you, when I was taping our show for next week, and we got some good sound bites that we're going to be playing next week, we had, I counted 4 or 5 potential inventors that actually came to the booth and heard about you, and hey, I heard, are you the inventor lady? And so it's good exposure, not just for your exhibitors, but the success or failure of your organization is at stake here. You know what I'm saying? Because you have to.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. We get inventors all the time that are coming up and saying, I want to go next year. I want to be here next year with you. And, where they just, do you have time to look at my idea? And it's like, I need you to call me after the show and we can do a video call. But my inventors here have paid to have my full attention.
Yeah, that's right.
With them. And so I focus on the inventors who are there and what's going on. And, I'll take time to visit with some of the inventors who come by, but really try to get them to, call me after the show so that we can talk about it. But, I'll get inventors that's like, why am I not here with you this year? And it's like, I don't know. I've been here for 15 years. Right. I'm not really hard to find. So, it's good for that. And, good inventors, a lot of them have already started the steps to have on the show with us. Yep,
that's right. And of course, too, if they went over there by themselves, they're going to spend between $10,000 and $15,000 in expenses just by themselves. So when you can have one massive place that's going to attract all these potential clients and manufacturers, it's just a good cost-effective way to get exposure. Rita?
Exactly, and that's why we do it.
Well, Rita, we're going to take a short break. When we come back, you were going to have some of your inventors on the show. I think our first guest is going to be Mr. Dave Fiegel. He's going to be our guest. So stay tuned. I am the Cajun man from the Bayou Land, the originator, not the duplicator. I am the Cajun contractor, Michael King, along with the inventor lady herself, Miss Rita Crompton, my co-host and sidekick. This is the Invent America segment of our show of Home Talk USA, right here on the Home Improvement Broadcasting Network, streaming live on the World Wide Web at GCNlive.com. Let's step away, and I hope you come right back. We will be right back with some new guests, new topics, as we talk to some of the outstanding inventors from around the globe. I'm the Cajun Man. Along with Rita, we'll be right back. Yay!
to Home Talk USA with Michael King. Do you have questions about your next home improvement project or home repairs? Now you can chat with verified home repair and home improvement experts in just minutes. Get the help you need by visiting HomeTalkUSA.com. One of the best resources for home improvement information around today. Your best life begins with your best home, and there's no place like Home Talk. That's HomeTalkUSA.com. And now, back to Invent America from the #1 home improvement radio program in the country. Home Talk USA with your host, the Cajun contractor Michael King, and his co-host, the Inventor lady, Rita Crompton.
All right, welcome back. That's right. We are streaming live on the World Wide Web at the Genesis Communication Radio Network at GCNlive.com. We also invite all of you to check out our television show at HomeTalkTV.com. That's HomeTalkTV.com. Rita, wow, we had a great trade show, and one of the gentlemen that we're going to talk to right now is Michael Miller. I think he's your product expert, right?
He is our product expert, and I met him at the National Hardware Show a long time ago, and he was actually then licensing a product that I had helped the Inventor with. Michael, thank you so much for joining us, because you've been going to trade shows for a long, long time, and so you've seen inventors as they've progressed through the steps at the trade shows. And so share from your point of view why it's so important for inventors to, get to the show multiple times.
Absolutely, and thank you, Michael, and thank you, Rita. Even at the National Hardware Show here, this past one here last week, saw at least 8 companies that were there where I remember the owner of that company, the inventor of the product, with the, sitting there at the trade show with their single product, very first time prototype, and now they're multi-million-dollar companies. It's just absolutely fantastic. The exposure that your product gets, the comments that you get from the people that are walking the show, and also the ability to meet with your customers, your Lowe's, your Home Depots, your Aces, and a lot of the other smaller retailers that will be the folks that actually bring your product in. It's just amazing.
It is, and the economy shifts a little bit, the market shifts a little bit, technology shifts a little bit every year. So one year you might not meet quite the right person, and the next year you do. You just never know where they are in a particular year, in a particular mindset of what they're looking for.
Absolutely, and I would say this year is just an absolutely fantastic year to have a new product. If you think about it, all these companies downsized and really didn't, because of the supply chain issues, were not really looking to expand their product lines. And so they really kind of faltered as far as the new products and new product improvements. And now everybody is scrambling to really try to find those next new products. And so now is just absolutely perfect for that. And that's what I heard from a lot of the people that were at the trade show, and just the amount of activity of companies looking for new products was just phenomenal.
Well, your insight for our inventors, where you were kind of working and basing out of our booth, was invaluable. They learned a lot from you, where you'd go out and scout for their product and then be able to come back and give them some insights. So I want to thank you so much for being our product expert at the show.
Well, thank you so much. I really enjoyed it. What a great group of folks, and just some really amazing inventions that you had there at the show this year.
Mike, let me chime in just for a second before we have to step away. I know you had a chance to walk the show. Did you see anything maybe that struck your eye while you was walking the floor?
I would say that the thing that really struck my eye that I had mentioned here just a few minutes ago was the lack of innovation at a lot of the companies. And a lot of the people that know me at some of the different companies, the very first thing was, wow, what new stuff is at the show this year? What are the new things? We really need some products. And that's what really struck me. Of course, there were a lot more crowds, at the show this year. post-pandemic and everything. But really, that need for innovation is stronger now than I've seen it in many, many years.
Yeah, and I think as smart homes expand and technology expands, electronics expands, you're right. But I think the last 3 years, when this country got shut down, I think that was also the problem. So we're probably 5 years behind the 8 ball now. In China, that's a show for another day, but China's just going to surpass us now big time unless we start doing what we do, invent things and coming up with things. And that's what's good about Rita with the Invent America show. She's never going to let it die. She's always going to go out there and try to find something, that's out there, Well, we got to step away. We got to run again. We got to take a break. Got to pay some bills. Michael Miller, the product expert for the Invent America, Invent a Lady herself, Rita. We're going to take a short break. We're going to be right back wrapping up. Me and Rita. Y'all stay tuned. Yay!